George Reeves cover. It's like George Reeves, where he's coming out of the phone booth. And you see what I just did there? We just had a new
I
guy.
was unaware that was a thing I did.
Welcome to the Legion of Comics. I'm Mark, joined as usual with my good buddy here, Ryan, the new guy. And yeah, we were just talking these action comics and Superman cardstock covers real fast. And they've got some awesome ones. And then I was looking at some coming up in the future, especially when the Superman title is about to split, and they have these black and white covers. I don't know if they're going to be incentive covers or ratios or whatnot, but there's one for detective no action comics. I think it was 1032 or 1033, and it looks like George Reeves Superman coming out of a phone booth, and it's in all black and white. He's pulling open the suit,
Mm.
and it just has the S, the red and yellow in color. It looked fantastic.
Oh
It
wow,
was
yeah, that
really
sounds
cool.
really cool.
It was. I'm going to say hey to the chat real quick.
Yeah,
We got B. Ramey in here. What is up, brother? He's got a
nice.
bunch of Spawn books. He has, I think it's six. It's A through F. So yes, six Spawn 9.8 books that he just put up for sale, and I think they were all $75 a piece. Like there were some wicked ones. Yeah, like the 301 Bill Sienkiewicz variant and stuff. And so yeah, if y'all don't follow him on Instagram, be sure to check it out. Comics and Death Metal. What is going on? Scott Shelf. Hello, hello. Southern Comic Geek himself. What is going on, Jason? Sup, everybody. Speaking of Jason, Slotted at 503 is in the house, and I'm going to be on his show this coming Sunday if life doesn't get in the way, which it shouldn't. I don't see that it would, but that would be the only reason I don't make it is if a kid gets injured or something. But never say never. But
Yeah, right.
yeah, I'm off this weekend, so it should work out. We're going to the zoo Friday for my wife's birthday, so I won't be going live Friday morning.
Mm.
We'll be at the zoo at that point because we
Yeah.
do that show normally pretty early. But yeah, I'll be on a rig. So that's at I think it's at 7:30 Eastern time. It might be at 7, but I want to say 7:30. I don't know why. It might be 7. What is going on, Comicade? He just passed
What's
200
up, Kate?
subscribers. Yeah, big. What do you need? Did he? That's pretty cool. So big clap for Cade. He puts out some really, really fun content, like really fun,
Mm-hmm.
appropriate for all ages. He does a little bit of everything. He had a fantastic unboxing of the Marvel Select Immortal Hulk figure. He does these fantastic, quick comic reviews that he puts on the shorts where he physically goes through every page for you while breaking down what it is. So if you're curious of what's in the book, you can see it. But those are really fantastic. And he's
That
always trying
Scooby Doo one, man.
he's always trying to spotlight stuff that is not always being put in the limelight as well, which is really cool because you'll find out there's a lot of really cool stuff out there that isn't just generally talked about. So he's doing a lot of service in that aspect too, keeping a lot of great media alive. Then we have Flashlight Mike.
E-Man.
What's up?
Boom. What's up,
Skip on
dude?
down. The C-list villain himself. What is up?
Yeah.
I saw that he just
Love
got
that
his death
podcast.
rage. Yeah,
One of my
uh,
favorites.
it's one of the only ones I actually listen to because I don't have a lot of time and I'm not podcast savvy, but yeah, I do check out the C-list villains, and not every
Don't
episode. I wish I had that much time.
don't worry. I created a double entrapment for you, so you're gonna be listening to one soon.
Okay, 7:30 is rigged. Austin LeMay. We need to start a new hashtag, and I feel like it's really necessary. And for those who know, and for those who don't know, they need to find out sooner than later. I wish I knew where all the buttons were on a keyboard.
What?
I'm looking for a button. I
Like
don't know
the
if it's on here.
keys?
Yeah, there it is. I found it. So this is very serious. That's the new hashtag, and I didn't put the hashtag in it.
Austin over Peach.
All day. So I think that needs to become a thing because I don't know if you've seen a lot of his new stuff that he's been showing everybody. That Geiger cover he did was insane. That drawing that he did for somebody else's character. Like, if Peach Momoko can make money drawing pictures, Austin should be rich from drawing pictures. Because this dude is absolutely amazing. And, it just needs to be out there. check him out on
Hmm.
Instagram as well.
That
He comes
Geiger
up with
cover.
trash.
Have you seen the? I think it's the B cover of issue number 3 of Geiger.
There it is. The B cover
There
of
you
issue
go.
number 3. I have not. I'll be honest with you. I haven't looked past issue 1. I haven't had a
It
real
may be
chance.
the A cover, but I'm pretty sure it's the B cover. But it's definitely Geiger number 3 because it's very much like what he did. It's a black and white. Well, it's a white cover with black sketchy skull, but it's like one of those photo photo tricks. So like if you stare at it for like so many seconds or whatever, and then you look elsewhere, you'll see the skull. Like
Oh, that's really
the guy
cool.
was like, look at the ceiling, but yeah, if you look at a wall, like something blank,
I
you'll
don't know
see
if
the
you've seen
skull
that, but
still.
that's an awesome idea in a media that requires you to have decent vision. They're doing what they can to destroy your vision. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, right. But
Wow.
I had seen it a couple days before Austin revealed his, and I was like, oh man, like that's awesome. I didn't know if it was inspired by that cover. I didn't want to bring it up though because I was afraid everyone was gonna be like that. But it's just like a skull, and it kind of like the way it's done is very similar to the style he did that one, except his is like a giant skull coming like off the side of the page. This is just like right in the center, and
Yeah.
it's like a smaller style skull.
I haven't seen it, but I'm sure Austin's is better.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah. I really liked it because the green makes it pop. That's the thing. That other one is like Geiger in black, the trade dress and stuff, and then the skull and just like a white cover, whereas his has like all the little bombs and the signature and stuff. I would pay way more for his.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the third printing. I thought it was number 3. But yeah.
It's one of the two. There's a 3 involved in that book.
Yeah, I do know
And
that
that's all that
much.
matters. I'm
Which
looking
is
for
more than I've probably ever
Geiger.
talked about any covers.
Yeah.
So I mean
And this is the most we talked
hashtag
about
growth.
Geiger. Let me find that. Hold on.
Talked about Geiger and a cover, man. I'm really expanding out here.
Yeah, you're stepping out of your wheelhouse. Oh man.
What's up, Nick?
In comments, what is up, brother? I saw where he went live just a little bit ago. I saw that. I'm like, dude, I want to hop on with him before we go live. But then Monkey just crawled up on me and started. I'm like, okay, perfect
Yeah.
timing. She hasn't taken a nap at all today. She's just like past 2 little mini naps. So she's probably in like I don't know, micro coma for the next little while. And Finn's over here eating chicken nuggets, kicking the dog. So that's what they do.
Yeah. I had seen him post that he was going live, and then I was like trying to time it all out, and I was like, is he gonna be live when we're live? We should just all be live. I don't know what's going on here. So
Yeah.
I guess I missed it, but so I was trying to get back to the house.
I know that he just made some investments in comics. I'm not going to steal his thunder and make his announcements for him, but I don't know if you saw that in the chat group. A couple of things that he picked up, and I noticed that he talked about a very bold strategy when submitting to CGC as well.
I saw that too.
He should probably share
like,
that strategy if he chooses to. I'm not going to put it out there, but yeah.
Yeah, that was my first thought. I was like, man, I wonder how many people are using this and like
That
know
loophole,
about this.
that's fire, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
But I was like, I don't want to put it out there because that's his secret,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's awesome, Austin. Like, I loved your cover more than the other one anyway, like I said. But I just thought it was really weird that they were like on your pulse, because we're trying to get you into the industry, and they're like, well, we'll pay somebody else to do something kind of similar to what we know this guy's doing in his basement way away from us. Check for microphones.
Yeah, dude, in all sincerity, Austin building up a big enough fan base just on the platform that he's present on with YouTube, and even though he doesn't have a channel, he's present enough on YouTube that people know of his stuff, and especially on Instagram, that's a big platform. I have 5 pieces of original art from artists on Instagram. That's they're just putting their stuff on there. If Austin gets a big enough base, and he knows people who know comic shop owners and work with people on exclusive variants, it's not a far leap to think that Austin does a cover. That does not seem like a far stretch from where he's at and who he knows already. It's just like a small step to actually make that happen. It's literally just paging after a conversation.
Yeah. The only thing is, I do know he's talked quite a bit in the past about how he really likes doing the covers and, don't make your hobby a job kind of thing. So
I'm not
You know,
telling him to quit
he's
his
very
job.
like controlling of how many he's doing. You know, so
Yeah,
which I understand. Like, yeah, you don't want to make it not fun for yourself.
that's very true. All right. So you've already been to the shop today, dude. I love seeing you have new books, having the opportunity to get there to pick them up. There's a spark in your eyes there that's not there when you're just giving your list of what you read digitally, and it speaks volumes for the
Well, that's
experience
because I
of
got to think.
yeah. You can't fire on both cylinders, no thinking.
With this, I just like hold it up and I'm like, oh yeah, I got this one.
Yeah. Ah. Let's see. I read this. I read. Ah.
But yeah, now that the kids are back in school and it's just me and the youngest, you know, it frees up a lot of things.
Yeah. So I've got a decent stack of DC. It looks like I went to the comic store and bought DC Comics again because it was kind of I was feeling it ever since Future State ended. I like that cutback, that reduction in titles, and
Hmm.
I'm glad to have a healthy stack. Now I do leave some stuff behind. There's just some stuff that I don't necessarily want to own or collect, and if I feel the need to have to read it, I can read it digitally, but I don't need it taking up space per se. But there's some good
Yeah.
stuff. First off, my LCS is a huge store. It's got comics. It has a huge gaming section as well as a paperback bookstore. So I picked this up for the wife. She loves these Mercedes Lackey book. I don't know if she has it or not, but whenever the owner, because you can buy, sell, and trade paperback books, hardbacks, like novels and stuff in the store as well.
Hmm.
So whenever they get any Mercedes Lackeys, they just kind of hold them back to double check with us first to see if she needs it. So she's at work. She couldn't answer in time, but I got it. If she's already read it or back to the store.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
it
think
was
the other thing, like I know I'm about to send 20 books out. So like I gotta get to the store and buy some more to put in the box so that when I hit 300 I can pass those out
oh
as
yeah,
well.
that's right. You got that giveaway coming. You've passed 200 subscribers.
Hmm.
So people who
201.
are yes, so people who aren't that's literally passed.
Yeah.
So
No,
people
it's
that
just
don't
crazy because like what was it, Sunday? Rod the Weekend, he shouted me out, which I'll be on his channel later today at 7 for Lamer Frame.
oh
So
you're on Lamer Frame tonight?
yeah, he asked me yesterday if I wanted to do it. So that was the other reason I was out because I wanted to get some new markers because the kids were doing virtual school. So I have like a whole classroom, like K through 12 over there, you know, really like K through 6, you know. So we have all that stuff, but kids are terrible with markers. I was like looking through them and I was like, oh yeah, like half of these are dry, the other half are mixed colors on the tip. And so like I was like, I better go like pick up some just like a little pack of markers for this. So that's gonna be fun though. But he shouted me out on his community shout out, and then I was on the Panda Pack mail call Sunday thing, and he kind of plugged me a few times, and so everybody jumped on there. I mean, it was like I was checking my YouTube notifications. It was like new subscriber, somebody's new video, new subscriber, new subscriber, new subscriber, another video. You know, like I
That's
was like, what is
awesome.
going on? And I was like, oh yeah, Rod's shouting me out and I'm not even watching. What is wrong with me? There's two of those. I talked to, I think Madeline Holly Rosing, my conversation with her, she talks about that there's Monstrous, the one that's there, TRESS, but there's also another one, I think from Source Point Press called Monstrous, that's Monstrous. And she said both of them are great. Like they're not the same story or anything, like they're different things, but she said both of them are really like uh deep and intricate and strange like that.
Have you read Saga?
I have not. I read the first
I
issue
haven't
of
either.
Saga, but it was
I
like,
feel like I'm super slacking on that. It's becoming like a cult sensation.
oh yeah, like I know enough about it, and you know how big of a cult sensation it's been. I read the first issue. I think it was on the Image website. You know how they put the first ones on there for free. So
Mm-mm.
I had read that to see if it was interesting. You know, like why people were so hooked on it, but it was really cool. I would like to read more of it. It's just at the time that I read it, it was when it went on hiatus, and they had just come out with like that omnibus or whatever, and it was like sold out everywhere because people buy every issue of the comic, every trade, and every compendium. Like people are hardcore about that series.
Yeah, I haven't. I feel like I need to read it, but whenever I just see
Hmm.
it, like Comic Man Andy has always got it somewhere in his video, whether it's just on display or whatnot. And just looking at it, I don't know why it reminds me of Fables. Just it
I could see
that's
it.
just what my just like again haven't read it at all. Just that's just what I associate it with. So I don't
Yeah, I
know if that
haven't
would
read
be a good
Fable either,
comparison
but
or told some tell her to
kind
go if
of
you like
visually
Saga,
at
check that
least,
out.
they
Yeah.
exist in a similar
Fables
like
was cool.
fantasy realm.
All right, we'll put him back on the table, buddy.
But Fiona Staple, oh my god, her art is beautiful.
Saga
Yeah,
by
I think
Brian
it's
K.
supposed to
Vaughan
be
is
coming back
amazing.
around pretty soon.
Huh? No, I don't eat chicken, buddy. You know that. Don't try me up like that. Saga is a great story. I think they're going to pick it back up soon.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be
Yeah,
coming back later this year.
I might have to try to grab a trade. I don't. I know that they hold some value to them as well. Like I haven't ever looked up the value or anything, but I'm aware that they're not cover price books at all.
It's one of those like, the way we talk about like something is killing the children. I mean, I know there was recent news, but for the longest time we've been like, how is this not getting optioned and all this other garbage is? And so like it's kind of weird that Saga is still just a comic book. I think there's been some talk. I think there's been some options, but I don't think anybody's actually developed. I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't know if it's just like something that would be very complicated to develop into TV or movies or something, but it is weird how popular it is, and yet we still haven't seen any like anything huge come out of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure actual fans have more of an opinion on that than me, though. So,
Yeah, makes sense.
oh, he doesn't. Brian K. Vaughan doesn't want to have it option. He wants to keep it in the comic world. Yeah, I was gonna say there are dump trucks of money out there that tend to end up at people's front doors sometimes. So we'll see. Yeah, Saga would make a great Netflix show. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I read the first issue and it was just fantastic. And at the time, I was like so into that first issue, I wanted to get it. But I checked it. We have a chain here, like a local chain. It's 4 or 5 stores, and so if you can't find something, they can search their inventory and find it. And if you give them like I think like 2 to 4 hours or something, they'll have it shipped over to whatever store you need to pick it up at for free. But I went to the store and was like, yo, like, I just read this first issue of Saga. Is there anything I can get to like take it further? And he's like, man, the omnibus just dropped and it is sold out.
Look
I
at
was
you
like, what
know,
about
man.
trades? He was like, well, we can't keep them. He's like, every time we get an order of trades in, they fly off the shelves within a week or two. I was like, damn. So
Like a whole
it's
jingle all the
definitely
way.
something. Yeah.
I'm looking for a Turbo Man, and you just get laughed at.
Right. I was like, man, I just heard about this thing called Saga.
Shoot your eye
Get
out,
out of here,
Ryan.
noob. Right? Ha, 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 ha.
All right, I got to throw this dog outside real fast. You got to carry this.
Based on what I read, E-Man, I would say I would assume the way that I saw it and everything I know about it, it seems like it'd be better as an animated show. Very high fantasy, very like otherworldly creations and stuff. And while CGI and prosthetics and stuff have gotten really good, I just don't think it would work as well within the budget. Like if you're talking a TV show or a movie, it's going to be very expensive to do all of that CGI and prosthetics. But as an animated show, that wouldn't be as much of an issue. That being said, the Saga art Fiona Staple is like, holy crap, she's good. So it would also depend on like how well they could replicate her style on screen.
And a big hello to Small Town Collectibles isn't in here. Jimmy, how are you doing, bud? The host of 10 Questions is, and it's part of the usual suspects, right? The Gary B and Slotted Up in them. I think that's what they call themselves. It would be super graphic and adult too. Honestly, page 2 of Saga 1 is one of the most surprising pages ever. See, now you're just rubbing it in that we haven't read it at this
I
point.
know, right?
Yeah. It's not one of those ones that's
That's
not available to read digitally easily, is it?
do you know anything about Saga?
Nothing.
No? Oh, well, then I won't say
No.
anything about that. It's
Yeah,
pretty
don't ruin
cool.
the second page.
Yeah.
Let's,
Think of it
let's
as like a kind of like a I don't know, like a high fantasy Star Wars kind of thing.
nice.
I mean, Star Wars is already fantasy, but like a little bit
Mid.
further left.
So let's talk some new comic books. So obviously, final new comic book day is tomorrow, but it is Tuesday. That means DC books are available for a lot of people, a lot of places, including where we live. And so we've already picked them up. So we'll go through what we picked up, talk about what we're looking forward to. There's some other stuff coming up as well tomorrow. Not really much on the Marvel front, but there's some great indies. There's definitely some stuff to talk about.
Beta Ray
First,
Bill.
yeah,
That's like the only thing out of Marvel I'm waiting on.
I did pick up Detective Comics, and that's a 1035, and it's got the brand new character called Mr. Worth, like it's his actual name.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's up with that.
I was into this cover a lot more. Like the cardstock variant was just like a photorealistic Batman. And I was like, it looks good, don't get me wrong, but I mean this one, look at Mr. Worth or whoever this guy is gonna be, like that face, like there. So I was like, I like that A cover better. I don't need just another picture of Batman.
And then on the spec aspect of the things, if anything becomes of this character for any reason whatsoever, this is his first cover appearance. But I don't suspect anything too, but I'm a cover A guy more often than not.
He might end up in the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
The extended edition.
New 6 hours long with bonus footage not seen at home. Then we got Teen Titans Academy came out, so we're still got this Red X storyline going on. We have a lot going on, really, like the whole introduction of a new class. Yeah, the only thing that I really, at the moment, am just chomping at the bit with this book is just to see what they're going to do with Red X and see who it is.
This was another very long decision for me, and this one actually didn't end well for me because I really liked having like everybody in the Red X mask because, I mean, that's a character I like, so that's a big part of the draw for me, But at the same time, like, I couldn't make a decision, so I just had to spend the money because I also love this.
Yeah.
It's one of those decisions that did not end well for me because I ended up buying two copies of the same book.
That is really
it was such a cool B cover. Yeah, I was like, I can't pass on that, but I really like everybody in the Red X mask. So, plus the way that it ties into the story, plus that like inaugural class, and then you scratch it out with another Red X. Like, that's a great cover. How can I pass on that one?
So, have you had a chance to see most of these? What is going on, Nosh? How are you today, brother? And Nosh just recently started posting videos on the YouTube channel where he's going over his hauls and talking books. Really good and very relatable if you have kids, because much like with this channel, his kids are over there just spending time with dad while dad's trying to multitask. Dude, as soon as I watch, I'm like, dude, yes, I love this. This is perfect. This is amazing.
That's awesome.
It was.
My daughter's probably going to come in here at any moment.
Next, I picked up and super excited for Batman Superman issue number 17. If y'all did not pick up issue 16, you have no idea what you're missing. That was a sleeper hit in the history of comics and the way that they're formatted with issue 16.
Why does it feel like forever? Was there some kind of weird thing with the release on this one?
No, it's just once a month. That's just what happens when a book is good, man. It's like,
I guess so. It just feels like it's been forever. Where some of the other stuff, I feel like we got them pretty back to back.
What is
that? The cardstock variant on the cardstock variant on this one, like, it was cool. Again, it was one of those where it was like, do I need another picture of Batman and Superman together though? But this one has Robin in the background and the Joker and stuff, and I thought that was just like a really cool element to have back there. You got the Penguin down there. Like, I just thought this was a cool cover because it actually had stuff going on the cardstock for it is just literally like Batman and Superman there, and Superman's like shooting lasers. Yeah, I was like, do I need another picture?
Now I'm loving the Golden Age nods in here, like Superman's. It's actually the shield still. You have the little round notches in it from his first appearance, and even Batman. If you look close at the bat on his face there, it's got the stitch lines in it from like the old 1940s black and white serial. And Robin's mask is even really big on his face, like it was in the old serial. So they're playing nods to the 40s really well for this. So I'm excited to see how that goes. That was such a fun read. So next up, one I'm really excited for, Robin #1.
Which one did you grab?
The A cover.
This one was kind of a tough choice. I did like both of these covers, but I went with this one just because it's a little bit cleaner, less trade dress to it. And I like the green smoke there, the Lazarus resin. I'm assuming that's what it is, at least.
Well, we're dealing with the League of Lazarus, so it would make sense.
Yeah. And then, I don't know. I thought the character looked... Honestly, I like the Robin that's on the front of that one better. But I liked a lot of the background and, like I said, the lack of trade dress on this one. So that's what I went with there. I was like, I don't think I need 2 copies of that. Even though I guess it would have made sense. It's a #1, so who knows what'll show up.
With that whole cardstock versus A thing, I fall to the A's because the cardstock artists change. And then there's no, like, uniformity to my run anymore. But if you change artists on the covers of the A, at least you have all of this carrying that.
All the trade dress kind of normalizes it.
That's just how like my brain kind of associates the series. Now, when there's a banger cover that I just want, I end up picking it up. And I did get that 1 in 25 for Robin #1. I have no clue who this is at all. She's got this cool little skull painted on her face. Yeah.
I was gonna say Miracle Molly, maybe, but
that's on the next Batman one.
But with the skull and stuff there, that makes me think it's somebody else, something else.
Maybe it's just somebody who's just present in the book and has nothing
to do
with it. It's weird that they didn't.
It's not the Red X skull, is it?
No, not. Wait a minute.
Because that one's like drawn in a lot with the teeth.
No, she doesn't have somewhere X on herself.
Yeah, that either. It looks like somewhere between like Punisher and Red X.
But it's a gorgeous cover, and I've got a lot of the other ones. I didn't get the Batman one, which is pretty cheap to pick up, and I don't have the Scarecrow one, which isn't as cheap to pick up. But oh wait, never mind.
Oh, right, Pocan Joe said she is in the book. I just read it.
I just looked. I flipped. She's in the book, so it's a new character. Okay. So that's cool. New character made the cover of the 1 in 25. What is going on, Joe? Bought a couple of variants today online because I can't stop. I won't stop. It's Chappelle Show.
Well, yeah. Let me throw this one up then, because Steve's here, and it's it's a second print of Nightwing 78. But I like Nightwing. I like these.
Makes his logo.
Yeah. I was gonna say I like the design of the cover with the blue buildings and the logo that he's falling through and all that. Like, it's a pretty cool cover. Second printing, but I mean, I loved it. I thought 78 was solid. It didn't like blow me away, but it was just like a cool return to style, I guess. But then 79 just really takes off, and that's where they really hooked me. So I was like, let me grab that second printing of 78 then.
Yeah, I had it in my hand at one point. And I went and looked to see if they had the next issue, but both shops were sold out of Nightwing except for that second print, at least the Tom Taylor stuff. So if he's talking about DC Checkmate, which is just like part of Task Force X, I guess. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know anything about
Checkmate. Opinion on him. It's not anything. It's just like I think Maxwell Lord was running Checkmate for a while, and it's just like the.
Oh yeah, that sounds
like kind of like more Amanda Waller-esque kind of people,
Yeah. Yeah, I think Casually Comics, I think Sasha talked about that when she did her Maxwell Lord video, which was pretty good. She talked about like kind of all the crazy things he's been through. Like they're always like reinventing that character.
depending on who they spotlight in the new series and kind of what direction it might be taking, because Suicide Squad is a fantastic book, and if they're going to use a Checkmate book to be an extension of what's going on in that, I'm probably going to get it as well. So I'll look more into that as it gets closer and find out. And yeah, if it's going to be associated with the Suicide Squad run, I'll probably definitely be on top of it.
Yeah, that's part of my excitement for, I mean, of all the things, Teen Titans Academy 2. Like, I don't think we're going to get anything out of that here. I'm pretty sure, like, I'm pretty sure if there's anything in the Teen Titans Academy books that's reflective of the Suicide Squad books, that's probably going to be in the next issue, like issue 3 of Teen Titans Academy. But still, it would be interesting to see if they kind of start to seed that crossover. Yeah.
Squirt Pimp 54 got a bit of a variant bug. Mark, you can buy a billion Jane covers, but can't spend $4 on a Nightwing book. They didn't have it, man. I told you I went today to. I was going to grab both last 2 issues, and they didn't have them. So I went to the second shop that I have here in town to pick this up because it was sold out at my LCS already. And I went and looked, and they didn't have any of those 2 back issues either. But I saw that second print, and I'm like, well, I don't want to get the second print and then not have the next issue. So I'll just wait. I can probably just order them off my comic shop or something. Yeah, I'm not going to steal your thunder, but I have a feeling I know exactly what Crane book you bought today. What's going on, Todd? Greg Rucka's Checkmate was excellent. Sasha Boudreau is such a great character. So Todd, so Nosh, the bed is awesome. That's 3 compliments separate in nature. Boom. Present the bed.
Yeah. Awesome comic burrito. Mm-hmm.
I was good.
Pretty sure that's cool.
What it was. I ended up going to a show in Chicago, and the owner hooked me up with an issue 78.
Yeah.
Nice.
78 was cool. 79 was awesome.
Well, if you can run back up there for me and grab me one, that'd be cool. I could use being hooked up with one.
Yeah.
So final DC book that I picked up for today. Bum, bum, bum. Action Comics issue number 1030.
That's what you went with?
Yeah. All right, let me point out something to you now. Like all these A covers that you got B covers, they're $1 cheaper. So I basically got a free comic compared to you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I paid way too much for them, but I don't know. The Action Comics one didn't. It wasn't bad, but it didn't blow me away. But I really liked this one. I thought it was very reminiscent of the previous Superman cardstock that I grabbed with him and Jonathan.
It's a cool perspective. It looks like he's flying up, but he's not. He's flying forward. You look at all the stuff in the background behind him, the little drones and stuff. It's like you're underneath him looking straight up. I thought that was cool. And again, standard A. But I love that B cover. It looked like a whole flashback with him and Jonathan and the dog. Kind of that flashback we got for a moment in the last issue of Superman.
Yeah. Yeah. I really. Cover. Yeah. And that was the thing. I didn't hate the Action Comics A cover, but I thought the B was just so much nicer that just like Superman, what was it, 30 or whatever? That one, the A cover was fine, but the B was just so much better. I was like, I got to have that one.
Yeah. Now this is kind of
having breakfast. Good Lord.
I think this is a big moment issue for Philip Kennedy Johnson. I haven't read it yet now, but we do know that with the first 3 issues of his story arc, because Action and Superman have just been going back and forth. It's been one fluid story pretty much. But with his stuff, there hasn't been a major story arc start yet. So we're getting War World Rising. So this is going to be I guess, leading us into Philip Kennedy Johnson's first big Superman story arc that he actually plays with, because so far he's just been really establishing the characters the way that he wants us to look at them. That relationship with Jonathan and Clark.
Yeah, the dynamic.
Pointing out what's important in his run so far. So now we're about to start getting into the thicket of Philip Kennedy Johnson's Superman. And Mongol's not going to be a small throwaway, because what's happening is here in July, Jonathan's going to take over the main Superman title. They're going to retitle the primary Superman title Superman, Son of Kal-El. And Clark will not be present in that book. Clark will only be present in Action Comics and he's going to be where he's been these past few issues. He's going to be away from Earth. He's going to be in space dealing with the war world. So Mongol is going to become kind of an issue for a while in this book, which I think is pretty cool. And it does have the Midnighter story in it, which, you know, kind of ties in heavily to War World stuff, like bleeding out of Future State, at least it did, you know.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the next part of the Midnighter story because that was awesome.
So keeping in line with the Mongol stuff, that being a big deal, I went ahead and picked up that DC Comics Presents number 27 today, the first appearance of Mongol. There he is, looking like a goon. So nab that today. That was all of today's pickups for me.
Well, I got 2 more. Yeah, 2 more, but they're not anything of great significance. My 6-year-old is like unicorns are kind of her thing, you know. And so I saw this sitting on the shelf, and you know, it's what's it called? Scoot, the Scout Comics, I guess like all ages imprint. So I was like, let me grab that and see what she thinks of it. So we'll see. What's up, buddy? And then because I'm a big dummy that hates money or whatever,
nice.
I like Katana. I think she's a great character. I thought this book was good, and so they had the other cover in stock at this store because I went to a different one from last week, and so I went ahead and grabbed this. So now I have 2 copies of number 3, but I got both covers. There's only 2 covers on that, right?
Yes.
Okay, please say yes, because I'll end up buying a 3rd one.
Philip Kennedy Johnson's doing great, but it's going to take a massive turn come July when Philip Kennedy Johnson only stays on Action Comics and Tom Taylor takes over Superman, which I'm pumped about. So he's going to be taking over the Jonathan story.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool because, and I mean, like I said, Nightwing 79 yens. That sounds awful. Oh my god, maybe I should read this. I might not want her to learn that. What was I saying? Oh, Nightwing 79, especially, like Tom Taylor, he brought like a lot of positivity and did away with a lot of like Batman brooding kind of stuff, you know. He made Dick Grayson like happy and fun to be around and stuff, you know. And so like I'm really interested to see what kind of dynamic he brings to Jonathan, you know, because that's kind of the Superman thing, is like that bright, uplifting positivity. And if he can do that for Nightwing, I can only imagine what he can do for a character that isn't like held down by something like Batman that's got to be so heavy and dark, you know.
By the brood.
Yeah.
Which is funny because if you hop over to Batman Detective, issue number 1 just came out that Tom Taylor's writing. It starts with Batman brooding extra hard. But it was a cool brood though. Like I enjoyed that brood. It was less of a brood and more of like a self-realization, which I mean it's something that people have been talking about, like that I've talked to. You know, you just been hearing that stuff coming up in conversation, so it's cool it was getting addressed.
Yeah. But I think like those 2 to 3 examples there just show you like Tom Taylor's pretty good at like orienting himself with the character versus having the character oriented to him, you know. Like so many people, they're just like, I like Batman because he's all dark and serious and brooding all the time, and so everything that they pick up tends to like be written kind of into that same corner. And I mean, we just talked about like 3 examples of Tom Taylor writing characters well for themselves but very different from each other.
Yeah. So there's also some huge independent lineup coming out this week. You've got a Department of Truth is coming out, their next book. Number 8. So we're getting back into the story with Cole and getting it, moving forward with it. And that cover is sick with it. I'm definitely looking forward to that, where they kind of took 2 issues to really dive into the history of the department and of Lee Harvey Oswald himself. And you're kind of like, we the reader kind of learned that history as Cole was learning it, which was really cool. So it's getting to the end of that last issue and seeing that it was Cole just spending that time studying on the department. We were just on that journey that he was on. That was No, sir. No, sir, Finn. No.
Yeah. I really like, to me, like I really liked what was it, number 6. I really liked that one because, I mean, to me, they addressed the elephant in the room with that one. Like, the biggest propaganda machine of all time is religion. And so to introduce that since the beginning of time, religion has been used to control and manipulate us, I thought that was great because that's what the Department of Truth is all about, you know? And so then to take that and go into number 7, and we get like kind of this concrete foundation of where the Department of Truth came from, to me is great because this whole story is told in a world that can constantly be changing and evolving, and you never know what is and isn't. And so to give us like a concrete foundation of at least something, you know, like this is where the Department of Truth came from, to me, that helps like keep us oriented as the rest of the world moves around us, you know? So I thought those were great issues. I know a lot of people weren't like too into number 6, but I thought it was great just because it addressed, you know, the biggest propaganda machine ever.
I enjoyed the switch in artwork as well. It kind of fit with each issue.
Yeah, that was great too to see some different art. Like, I really like Martin Simmons' artwork on this. I think it's great. I love the abstractness of it, but it was nice to see some things change and switch around for a little bit and freshen it up for a moment.
I'll be right back.
Cool.
Call my wife back.
Yeah, PJ King. I've never been like crazy on top of Superman, but he's definitely won me over with the way that he writes the father-son stuff in these super books right now. The Jonathan and Clark dynamic is great because it brings out something different in each of their characters. You know, like we've always seen Clark be like the good, feels like he's you know, trying to present the best side of everything to Jonathan and really set an example. Like, you know, with Superman, that issue ended with them discovering the truth on the other planet and stuff. And so I'm really interested to see how Clark is going to exemplify, you know, resolving that situation and stuff without, you know, without violence. Like when they go to the planet and Superman and Clark's like, wait, you know, like, because they detect that the other people are there, but they're hiding. And so he's like, you know, wait, like let them attack first. We're okay. Like whatever they throw at us isn't going to hurt us. But if we go to them, they're going to feel threatened. But if they attack us first and we play the defensive and show that we're friendly and peaceful, then we can like kind of step forward from there, you know? And so I think it's really cool the way that Philip Kennedy Johnson's really showing Clark be a dad and set the example and explain to Jonathan, like, this is how you do things and this is why. And so I'm excited, I guess, to see them part ways, you know, but at the same time, like, it's also going to be cool to see Jonathan kind of go do his own thing and grow up and grow into his own. Because right now he's kind of in this like safety net of growing up in Clark's shadow. But when you take Clark away, now he's got to kind of grow into himself. So I am excited to see that, but at the same time, I just love the way that Philip Kennedy Johnson's, you know, bouncing those two characters back and forth. So, Unicorn. Oh wait, Department of Truth about the Denver airport. Yeah, I didn't know anything about the Denver airport. As far as I was concerned, they didn't even have one. So the fact that I learned that there is one and they have that crazy statue outside or whatever, that was pretty interesting.
Wait, there's an airport in Denver?
That's what I said. That's exactly what I learned. More interesting, though, there's a podcast called Florida Men on Florida Man. And the story they told this week was about like this insanely massive airport that was built in the Florida Everglades, like in the 60s and 70s. Like it's so insanely huge, the stats they give. And most people like it, then it was abandoned, but like nobody's ever seen it because it's in the middle of the Everglades, which are apparently so massive that like you cannot find that if you went into the Everglades.
Huh. How many podcasts, Ryan, do you listen to?
All of them.
All of them. That's valid. Now I did dude, it's real quick. It's still April. Do you want to make an announcement while we have 13 people in here? You know the video you did making the announcement about the charity with Pod Chasers that they're doing?
Oh yeah. So on Podchaser, podchaser.com, it's a website. One of the big issues with podcasts is like, if you think in terms of YouTube, right? So on YouTube, they are the host and the distributor. So you upload your footage to YouTube servers and it's played back only on YouTube. With podcasts, you can have different hosts. There's different hosting companies. And then it's also distributed by different companies. You know, you have Apple Podcasts and Anchor and all these different ones. And you can mix and match your host and distributors and stuff. So the problem that, like on YouTube, you can click the like button, you can leave a comment, it's all right there. In the podcast world, that's been much more difficult. But podchaser.com came along, and what they do is they aggregate all the information from across the internet for podcasts. So you can go there, you can find podcasts, you can play them directly from the website, but you can also find all their different sources. So you can find one that works with whatever service you use to listen to podcasts. So that's already a solution to a problem. Well, the other nice thing is you can follow podcasts, you can follow creators, you can review podcasts, you can review individual episodes, all that kind of stuff. And that helps creators out immensely. So if you listen to any podcast, you should definitely be signed up on Podchaser so you can, help your favorite creators out. But even better than that is for the month of April, Podchaser itself is doing every review, whether it's like a podcast show review, they donate 25 cents for every review during the month of April. They donate 25 cents to Meals on Wheels. And so if you can, please, if you've ever listened to like any one podcast, even just go review that podcast because that's a quarter toward Meals on Wheels. And like I was talking about some of those different hosts, one of them, I know for sure, anybody that's being hosted by Libsyn, if their podcasts get a review, Libsyn will also donate a quarter for each review. So a lot of your podcasts, and that's one of the biggest hosts out there. So a lot of the podcasts you listen to, you could actually be sending 50 cents per review to Meals on Wheels. And so that's for the month of April. So you got to get in before the end of the day 30th. On the 30th, but which is Thursday, I think. But the other day I calculated, I've done 156 reviews in April. And so that's $38 and the month's not over. So maybe I can get a couple more dollars in. Hopefully a lot of those are on Libsyn. So that'll kind of double the value on a couple of those. And, it'd be awesome to see more people go do reviews because that's a lot of money to help out families in need.
Yeah, it is really awesome.
And like for me, what I do, like the end of the day, like one of the last things I do at the end of the day, I sit down, I spend 5 to 10 minutes because Podchaser, it gives you like a feed and it even has a little button you can hit at the top and it'll only show you new episode releases because it also shows you stuff like if you follow a creator, it'll pop up with other podcasts that they guest spot on and stuff. But at the end of the night, I hit that switch. So it only shows me a list of the newest episodes that come out and they're listed from like newest to oldest. And so I'll sit there for like 5 to 10 minutes and just scroll through that and give a rating and 20 character minimum on a review. I'm sure you can think of something like this episode was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I thought this little fact was really cool or something, and I just scroll through that list and I do those just like Facebook or something for like 5 minutes at the end of every day. Whatever I can remember about that episode, I try to put it in the review and boom. So it's pretty simple. And that 5 to 10 minutes a day is earned $40 to give away. So that's a win for me.
Yeah. The name of the website is Podchaser. Is it with the S, Podchasers?
No, just Podchaser. Podchaser.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Go to Podchaser and leave reviews. It's
country of origin.
America, I think.
Yeah.
I actually don't know, but yeah, it's called #reviews for good. That's the hashtag they're using on social media if you want to connect with it in that way as well.
And
So
another hashtag that you need to be blasting on social media. Yeah, that is a really awesome cause, and I'm with Austin on this one. It's hard for me to keep up with the content on this platform. Like I'm not able to keep up with nearly as much as I would like to. I think that's the one thing that's really stopped me from checking out a lot of the podcasts that you kind of mention and recommend, because there's obviously tons of content that I would be absolutely interested in listening to and hearing about, and my schedule just doesn't work right now to expand what I'm doing. I'm still not on Twitter or other things and other platforms like we've talked about. Now, I said I have nothing against getting on there. I just have to be able to have the time to do it. We had someone reach out and ask if I wanted to be put on an email list a few weeks back. I'm like, no, absolutely not. Please do not put me on an email list. They're like, it's a great cause. I'm like, yeah, I agree. It's awesome. It sounds like a great resource. It's not something that I'll be able to access right now. I'm OCD with my emails. They're like text messages. If I don't need them, I delete them as they're coming in, and if I need them, I address them so I can delete them. And I can't have something just sitting there. It'll drive me nuts.
Yeah, one thing that has really changed the game for me lately, because like podcasts are my first love. I love podcasts because it's something that like you can just listen to it. People know that you're not watching, and so they tend to like not gear any of the content toward like, look at this thing. Oh, how cool does that look? Like it's terrible podcasting. So it makes podcasts really easy to listen to while I'm out and about and stuff, versus YouTube where they're like, look at this cover, and I'm like, well, I'm driving down the road. I can't be looking down. But the podcatcher I use, I'm on Android. I think on Apple, you can only use Apple Podcasts, which is like fine for a lot of people I know. But on Android, you get a lot of options. And so I use one called Podcast Addict. Been using it for like 10, 12 years or something now. And it's great. One of the cool things that I discovered that they've implemented recently, I can actually subscribe to YouTube channels. And so it doesn't play them there. Like you have to click on it and it opens the YouTube app and plays it for you. But the benefit is, whenever I refresh my feed every morning and it pulls all the new podcasts, it also pulls all the YouTube videos, and it puts in a list of like release date, or release time. Mm-hmm. And so throughout the day, I can look at that list and I can see both podcasts and YouTube that I need to consume that day, And so I can go through, it makes it a lot easier to like go through and be like, okay, let me go over to YouTube because I'm just sitting here in a waiting room right now. So let me watch some YouTube and I can just look at that same list. But then I get on the road and I switch over to a podcast, so that's been kind of handy, just having a list every day of everything I want to watch or listen to.
I like how you use the word consume and not listen. These are the podcasts I will consume today. Freaking Galactus over here. The Galactus of podcasts.
I've never been jaded that I'm just consuming media. I'm just a consumer. That's all I am.
Yeah.
New World Order, yeah.
Yeah, Biggie Shaq's new name. I was always the wolf with the Wolfpack on that one. I liked wrestling when I was in like third and fourth grade. I loved it so much. Like when Nintendo 64 was dropping WCW NWO Revenge, which was like the second one with the same game platform, just kind of updated characters and outfits and stuff. That World Tour, then Revenge, and it was fantastic. Loved it. The Martian Manhunter made a good point. That is a great source to avoid his job. Go for life. I don't have enough money to pay attention. The job's demanding my attention. Have a great day, everyone. All right, Austin, take it easy. And for those who don't know, that leaving the stream is Austin LeMay, the artist. Hashtag Austin's better than Peach. Austin's greater than Peach.
I know, like that's the thing. There's got to be some kind of word or phrasing that we can put in there that'll like really make it catchy,
Austin over Peach.
Yeah, see, it don't quite have a ring to it,
No.
Like Jane Gang, that just hits.
It does. That claps.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, you should definitely be listening to podcasts. It's an incredible medium. I love it. And I've been trying to get Mark to listen to Constructing Comics for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally I found a trap.
Okay.
I interviewed the guys because they also the two guys that do constructing comics. They're also like comic creators, you know, and so they have a new Kickstarter out. So I did an interview with them last night and everything, and that was an absolute blast. And then I weaseled myself into a guest spot. So I'm gonna guest spot on their I'm a guest spot on their podcast when the for Tom King's Batcat.
You're going to be
And
on the
so
show?
yeah. And so I
When is
refuse
this?
to talk about that issue. You'll have to go listen to my thoughts on it over there.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm absolutely down with that. That's really cool.
Yeah, we didn't
So
set
is
a
that
date,
stuff
but
available on
whenever.
are those available on like because like with Android, you have the Google Play Music for the longest time, but it just absorbed into the YouTube Music because Google already
Mhm.
owns YouTube. So are
Yeah.
podcasts available on there? Because when I went to listen to the C-List Villains, I literally downloaded Spotify for the first time just
Hmm.
to go listen to their podcast.
Yeah, it
And
should be on Spotify.
I just don't
Pretty
like
much all
using those.
podcasts are, you know, it's pretty easy to get your podcast accepted and distributed by all the major platforms. So, like, the podcast version of all my content is available on 8 different platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, um, Amazon Music, like anywhere that you consume content that, you know, they probably include podcasts and is probably available there.
I don't know if the YouTube Music app has podcasts because I know that the Google Play Music did, and since they
Yeah, I
absorbed,
don't think it does.
I don't think they do anymore.
No, because they made their own Google Podcasts app. So
Well,
I think
that's
that's why, is
unnecessary.
because whenever it went into YouTube, you know, it split everything up like that.
I weaseled myself into a guest spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So I
I
want to
knew
talk.
going into it, I was like, I'm gonna charm them the whole time, and then at the end, I'm gonna ask them if I can be on an episode. And
It
then right
worked.
at the end, he was like, "Hey, you know, if you ever want to be on an episode," and I was like, "Dude, I was so gonna ask you if I could like be on an episode."
That's hilarious. I do want to talk this book right here
Oh yeah, that's coming out
and
this week.
how it's connected with the Something is Killing the Children. So you know that tomorrow that eighth print of Something is Killing the Children issue 1 drops, but it's not just hitting shelves. The only way to get it is as if you had bought one of the foil versions of issue 1 that came out of Berserker. There's a card inside that you're supposed to take out, or don't take it out, just take it with you to your LCS and show them either the card or the comic with your proof of purchase. And then you're given one of the Something is Killing the Children issue 1 eighth prints, with the exception you purchased Berserker issue 2 as well. So there's like this huge thing around it, but it's
It's like
so
a
90s
YouTube
image.
giveaway.
Yeah. This is like one of those
It's
Instagram
like free
giveaways.
comics if you do all of these things.
Yeah. It's like one of the Instagram ones where like follow both these pages, share it to your story, tag 13 people. One of them has to be post-mortem. Like, come on, man.
Right. It's so true though. And like
I
I
don't
totally
even
understand what they're
yeah.
going for, but it's just like frustrating as somebody who like only is mildly interested in winning your product, you know?
And you're
I want to
mildly
do it, but
interested
do
in
I
winning
have
it. Then
time to
you're
do
like,
all
you're
of
not
those
even, I'm not
things?
even like Instagram savvy. Like the whole stories are still confusing to me because I haven't even looked at how to make them. Like once in a while, I'll have someone like walk me through, make one. Normally someone will make one and then tag me in it. And I'm like, yes, now I can just hit the share to my story button. I just piggyback if you go back and look at all my stories, they're just all shared where other people made them.
Yeah. I was
That
gonna say
works for
like
me.
there's a lot of times where people like do a story that like I'm tagged in and stuff. And I'm like, that's awesome, you know, but it's like a post of my post with like some of their little additions. I'm like, I don't really need to repost that, but I feel like every time that I tag you on a story that I do, you always repost it. So that makes sense.
Yeah. I just wait for those. I'm like, please, somebody make a story. Got it. Got one. I'm in there. Should start making people sign a do not compete. It's like the 90s all over again. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel like this is a bunch of Image Comics gimmicks from the 90s, and it's been a while since we've had them, so I'm on board. I'm not participating in it, but I don't discourage it. I don't
Well,
think
and
it's needed.
when you said you have to take that card out and take it to your LCS, I was like, wow, they really don't know the comic industry or the
Well,
comic market,
you
do
do.
they? Because
Yeah, you take it out.
comic
Or
collectors
don't.
are
You
not
can,
going to
yeah,
take that out. That's value.
not at all. But you can either take it out of the book and take it up if you want, or you can just take the book if you want. Take a picture of yourself holding the book next to today's newspaper if you want. Like whatever it is.
Right? You got like your phone and your smartwatch and a copy of the newspaper. Got your car radio with the time on it in the background and everything.
Old-fashioned sundial. It really is
Right?
12 minutes. I think it's pretty cool. That eighth print, even in this scenario, I don't think that eighth print is going to be as low of a print run as that original "Something Is Killing the Children" #1 was, because I don't know how crazy that was, but those low-key indie #1s don't really go out in mass like that, especially when there's so many #1s dropping from Boom Studios or whoever all the time, so you never know when one's going to hit like this one has. But with the announcement of the it being picked up as a television show yesterday, it's definitely going to be chased after hard. And I talked to my LCS because I pick up Berserker. I get 2 copies of Berserker, and not because I'm investing in it, but because I get one for myself to keep and read. And then my best friend's boyfriend, he gets a copy to read for himself. He doesn't collect or spec on him. He thought it sounded cool when I was talking about it. So I got 2 copies of Berserker, but I don't think I don't know. I might get one of those "Something Is Killing Children." If there's one available, there'll be one for me. Depends on how many people come in to redeem them. Because being that I didn't go through all that. I think the people that attempt to go through all that, they definitely deserve it if it's there for them. So I might get one, I might not. It'd be nice to have one.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you, man, like Something Is Killing the Children and Once and Future, I want to say, dropped like the same week or like right within a week of each other. And so looking at my list at the time, I had so many books I was reading, and a lot of it was like new #1s were just dropping like crazy at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't really know anything about either of these creators or what these stories are, so I'm just going to pick one of these to add. And it happened to be Something Is Killing the Children, and that one has just taken off.
Bro, all right, that exact story you just said, but instead of you're Justin from Justin Comics, and you're holding Once and Future and Something Is Killing the Children, but you put back Something Is Killing the Children. That's his story. Like he was sharing that the other night on his live, and I'm like, oh man. Really,
Yeah.
whichever one you enjoy reading more, that's the win, because I don't think he would be offloading it, or you're not looking to offload your copy. It's something that you read.
I love the series too much. Yeah.
Something you collect. But it's still nice.
I mean, I wish I had bought like a couple of copies, but I mean, my thinking at the time, I was like, okay, I know Once and Future King is the reference in the title there. I know very little about Arthur, but I know something of a lot of that. So I was like, I kind of have an idea what this is. I don't know like how good it's going to be, because I knew of Kieran Gillen, but I had never read any of his stuff. So I was like, I don't know. And then James Tynion, I feel like I didn't really know anything about him at the time either, but I thought the name was really cool. I was like, this sounds just like sick and twisted. Something Is Killing the Children. Like, and then I really liked the design of Erica Slaughter and the mask and stuff that I'd seen in some promo images. So I was like, I'm just going to try this one because I know less about it. So I feel like it would be more surprising of a read. And it was. It was every bit surprising.
Well, for any of you guys, okay, thank God. I'm glad you're still here. I was just about to ask if you were still here, E-Man, because I'm sure that you've seen this. Another one that I want to talk about from the speculation front is one of my favorite reads of the last year, hands down. And I know you read it as well, and that is definitely We Live. So I found out today that for Free Comic Book Day this year, We Live will be getting a one-shot.
Oh, so cool. Like, I just love the design of this world and these characters.
So what it's looking like, this one shot is going to follow these kids here. And I have no clue. I have not looked at what the solicitation of the story is. I'm on the fence if I even am going to, or
Oh
just try
no,
to
this is
avoid
as
it like
much as
the
I'm ever
plague.
going to know about this.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to know more, but
Nope.
it's called We Live the Last Days. So that'll be the name of the one shot. And just from looking at it, I can almost imagine that maybe these are the other four Palladians that we saw at the end. Because all
Yeah.
we know, yeah, all we know is Hatoto became one, but there was more. So maybe this is some of them, or maybe this is a group of kids, and one out of the group becomes a Palladian. But who knows? There we go. There we go. I know you do. Yes, they did. You know who else
Yes.
they told about it? These guys. Yeah.
Right.
So the scene list villains, as well as Ryan and myself, were both able to have the honor and the pleasure of having Rory and Anaki on our shows the week after the series or season one wrapped up. And they, if you guys haven't listened to those guys talk about these projects, either go back and on Ryan's channel or my channel. The interview is both of ours, as well as the C-List Villains podcast, because there's different information that you can gather from both of them. So you definitely should check out both conversations that were had. But there's a lot coming for this series' future, and this was I've never had a story experience like this. It was very unique. It was amazing. But
Yeah.
this is the one shot they were talking about. I had no idea that it was going to be a free comic book day, so I don't know if this was a if this might just be a free comic book day tease toward the one shot or what, because he almost insinuated that Humbo would be a big part of the one shot, didn't he?
Uh, well, I remember him saying that there's definitely a humble story there. I don't know if he insinuated that it's in the one shot, but that they definitely have a story specifically for Humble, because he was telling us there's a one shot and then there's going to be another series and then they have a third season or whatever planned as well, but they're trying to get something else in between there. So I couldn't tell exactly if he was saying they have a Humble story that they would like to be a one shot that goes in there, or if his story is part of this one shot they were already knew they were doing, which I'm pretty sure is this one.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it looking at this picture, but none of these kids have bracelets.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think that was something else he said, was like it takes place a little bit farther,
Yeah,
like earlier in the timeline than we already know. So,
so I'm all in on this. I'm all in. I
mhm.
don't know if you remember when they did the Power Rangers Ranger Slayer New Comic Book Day book before the one shot that led into New Dawn. But I ended up with like 7 copies of that because I was just going around getting them where I could and when I could. It was fantastic. That Ranger Slayer one shot was, and that
Oh
was
yeah,
also before I was like on YouTube like I am now. But I was in this Power Rangers group that I'd spent a lot of time in talking, and a lot of people weren't able to get those. So I was picking up copies left and right of that Ranger Slayer and just letting people pay shipping and sending it out to them because people were already selling them online like the day they came out. And that just made me sick to my stomach that people are picking up free comic book days and selling them the day they came out. So when I saw people trying to sell them, I immediately started giving them away for free in this on the same platform. Like let's just stop this madness right here, right now. That's people deserve
yeah,
books. You know what I mean?
yeah. I'm the same way. Like even with like regular books, I am not into the whole like let's flip it the day it drops or stores
Mhm.
jacking up prices. Like people have jobs, they have lives. You can't always drop everything to make it to the shop the day something releases. So to me, like, if I was running a shop, my rule would be 3 days. I'll give you until Saturday to get in here and get a copy. It comes out on Wednesday. You got Thursday, Friday, Saturday to get there. Sunday or Monday, that's when I would start, aftermarket pricing stuff. But,
Yeah.
the idea that people are like flipping and gaining on books that came out that day, just like to me, is not fair to the market at all.
No, that makes sense. Now, another thing I want to touch on real quick. This is completely on topic, but do you know that Rob Liefeld famous Captain America picture that's really people consider it bad, where he's turned sideways and his chest is huge and he's looking over at you, and his chest is like
Mm-hmm.
out to here. Now, do you know how people were kind of like I didn't catch it, but I easily understand why people had some grievances about the way that the Falcon's Captain America suit looked. It was like 100% comic accurate, but it didn't seem exactly as tight fitting and streamlined as his suit has before. I found this image online and I had to share it. Rob, that's amazing.
Right?
Oh crap!
Wow.
Isn't that the best? Oh.
Oh my god. I am not like digital art savvy at all. I know a couple of little tricks and stuff. I don't even know how you do this. Like, how does that work? Oh my god, it's so crazy. What did they do? Like stretch the arm and the chest together? That's crazy. Oh my god.
Isn't that awesome?
Yes. Did I send you the meme about Kano? The actor that played Kano? No? It's great, dude. Like, I know I saved it because I meant to send it to you, but I don't know if I ever actually did.
I don't have it. I have our conversation up right now. I don't know why I have it up, but it was already up.
Let's see. Can I screen share this?
This made my day, though. This absolutely made my day. Oh, Ryan, hey. Like, there you
go. Howdy ho.
Ooh wee.
Ooh wee. I like the what is it? The Kirkland off-brand Meeseeks. Hey.
Yeah. Oh, and on this comment, on the critique of this art, I am a huge Liefeld fan. Yeah, like again, it's one of those things you can understand where people like can say, "Oh, he's not good at drawing feet." No, he's not the best at it. But you know what he is good at? Drawing comics in general. Like the dude's earned his place in the Hall of Famers. He's done so much. He's legit. He was top dog for many years, and he's still drawing comics today. He still makes a living on it. Yeah, huge fan of his.
I think he's a reasonable artist. I don't think he's like super amazing. I don't think he's like absolutely terrible other than his feet. But at the end of the day, like it's his personality. That's what's kept him around for so long is his excitement. Yeah, like his infection, you know, like if he's around, you're gonna be excited about whatever he's talking about. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's how he can pull somebody like Alan Moore.
Like I said, he's a reasonable artist, but for the 90s, for his heyday, he was the shoe that fit. Like he knew how to do that oversized muscles and like all those pouches.
Yeah, like he was very in vogue at the time,
you know. But that's the time era. That's what was needed. The crazy futuristic guns everyone had that were so big, dude. That had me like mesmerized. It did its job.
Yeah, it was in vogue. I mean, he was on the pulse of what people were looking for in that moment.
You want to get bounced? That's what she wanted to bounce. She went. She loved the thing.
Yeah.
So Ryan, hey.
That was me. When I was a baby, my mom just talks about how I just wanted to be in my like Johnny Jumper thing nonstop.
Oh, he did it.
That's like I saw that and I was like, oh no. And then like the closer I got to the end, I was like, oh, that's good. I was like, don't tell me the best part of the only good part of that movie was he's dying from something now. Like that's not what that franchise needs.
Yeah. And I was kind of, you know, they was thinking about it. You know how Sonya stuck the gnome in his eye? That's just like grounds for him to come back with the metal piece over his face.
Which is so stupid.
Yeah, we don't have to get into that. We can keep this a happy stream.
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying he was the only good thing in that movie, but pretty much.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it either, E-Man. I was very upset with the movie overall. Of course, you can pluck out little moments here and there that wasn't bad, or I enjoyed that, but if I take
And pretty much all of them have Kano in it.
if I take, you know what I'm saying? If I take an enjoyable memory, like I'm taking my kids to the zoo, right? If I take the enjoyable memory of taking my kids to the zoo and insert that into a house fire, it no longer matters that I went to the zoo. Just get me out of the fire.
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Like if this was the second, third, fourth movie in the franchise and this is the quality it delivered on, I wouldn't be surprised and I wouldn't be like so annoyed. But this is the first one. Like if you don't have a good foundation, they're not going to get better. It's very,
They
very
started with
unlikely they're going to get
Annihilation.
better. Yeah, right.
Let's just start with Annihilation.
I mean, like I said the other day, the reason that we remember The Matrix well is because The Matrix was a good movie. Nobody's talking about the other two garbage ones, you know? And if you're talking about like the worst of your franchise being the first movie, unlikely. It's already tainted people's opinion. So even if the next one is better, it has to be like incrementally better for us to enjoy it, you know? Because you're going to go in already thinking, well, this is a sequel to that dumpster fire, you know?
Yeah. Take it easy, man. I appreciate you coming and hanging out. And I
Yeah.
noticed he got his Death Rage books in today, his Jang goodness. Both of mine are supposed to be in when my mailman shows up. And if any of you know, my mail is very subjective.
Yeah.
Thank you, Louis, and your wife. It's just how life goes. You know, it's what we do. She woke up. She wanted to sit here. She's already back asleep. Yeah. So let's see the list again real quick. Boom, boom. Oh yeah. Also for those speculators, over here on the right hand side of the screen, Heroes Reborn is being featured in the Marvel preview ad book that shows you the FOC stuff. And I don't know if y'all have noticed for Miles, that preview that had Miles in it is ridiculously expensive. So if you're specking on new characters and you're one of those people that consider their previews and appearance, be sure to look out for that this week. A crossover, the final issue with Donny Cates as the writer. And as you see, that does have a John Jang variant available for the Comic Kingdom from Canada. I'm not sure if they have any left, but that cover is dope.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting because there's a lot of plot threads that are just like out there. So either this issue is going to be packed with the wrap. No, yeah, like this issue is going to have to be so packed to wrap all that stuff up, or there's a lot of stuff already laid bare for Zdarsky to pick up on. I mean, we have no understanding of like why there was that news report in like the second or third issue that all the comic creators are being killed and stuff. Like, what's going on there? Like, they never touched on that again, did they? I think there was like one other panel. Yeah. So there's a lot there that I don't think they're going to wrap up. I think it's all going to be left for Zdarsky to pick up on, which is cool. I mean, I've liked what little bit of his writing I've read. So it'll be interesting to see how Cates wraps up his arc on this and leaves it for somebody else, you know?
Yeah. Now, I'm kind of excited for it because hopefully it's just going to be, I mean, it promises, look at the cover. It's going to be like a dome-shattering final issue to his Kids Loves Chains storyline, you know. So I'm more excited to see what can come because this series still has like nothing but potential. Like just the whole concept of it.
Yeah,
is
it's barely tapped on anything.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see because I'm unfamiliar with what Zdarsky has under Image Comics. You know how this is like a love letter from Cates to Cates fans as well as himself for people who are familiar with his Image property. So I haven't checked out or looked up the list of what Zdarsky has done and gotten an idea of what to expect or not. And I don't think I will. I think I'm just going to ride it out like I did with the Cates run because I'm going to hang in there, especially now that Chip's writing it. You know, it's just it's like a whole new number one. So what's the point not? I'm wondering if we'll even follow Ellie from here or if they'll go in a different direction altogether.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, and what they teased early on, like this is, you know, those two fall in love. So, you know, how, yeah, like in the third issue or something? No, it's in the first issue, maybe?
Oh, in the book itself.
Yeah, whenever they refer to like Ellie and I think the other guy's name is Ryan.
Yeah, or Ryan.
Yeah, they're like supposed to fall in love or whatever. Yeah. like this is a love story or something, or these two fall in love, but then like from there it's like how much they hate each other. So that's supposed to be something we're building toward. I'm assuming that's going to happen here. That seems more like the Donny Cates element of the story that he would want to put a bow on that.
Yeah.
I kind of assume though that it's going to be like episode 6 of Falcon and Winter Soldier, where you get like a big action piece and they kind of like stamp it with like this is what this all means, and that's probably like 3/4 of the book, and then the last quarter they just kind of wrap it up and set the stage for whatever Chip's going to do with it.
Wonder if the silver coin will pop up. That new one he just did. What would be a cool way, just right off the bat, just to use a brand new property in that first issue and just let someone find the silver coin in issue 7 and it lead us into the story arc of his run.
The only thing there, like Silver Coin seems to be the artist's project, and he's bringing in different writers, whereas Chip Zdarsky has Stillwater going on right now. I would call that new. It's only a few issues in. But that being said, I also, because like what Donny Cates was bringing in was all like superhero related properties he's worked on. Chip, as far as I know, he's done Stillwater. He did that Silver Coin issue, and then everything else has been pretty much Marvel stuff, and now he's doing some DC projects. So I don't know what he himself has to bring in. I'm sure there's work he's done that I don't know about.
Now it looks like that's all he has.
Yeah. See, and that's more what's it called? Twilight Zone-y than like
so
superhero stuff.
If we're not going to be getting him, not Tara, who did that? Who's on? Oh crap!
What?
Image I'm finding more like stuff I've never heard of. Let's see, Image Comics Captara. So I found something obscure and weird that I've never heard of before that he did with Image Comics.
Yeah, see, I was going to say, I'm sure there's like plenty of stuff Chip's done that I don't even know about, but I just don't know what it is, you know?
Yeah. And I agree, Louis. Chip Zdarsky's done the best work with Spider-Man since I can remember. I've dipped in to try to get on a Spidey title because I love Spider-Man, but there's been nothing worth picking up in a long time except for Life Story, and I am picking up Spider Shadow that he's doing.
Yeah.
But I wonder how many of these little off-the-wall things that I've never heard of, like he's done like Captara.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find another one. I don't know. But I was going to say before I saw that Captara thing that maybe if he doesn't have a lot of Image properties to work with, if we'll start seeing what a lot of people expected to see sooner, with seeing actual like Savage Dragon or Spawn or Shadowhawk, or start getting some notable Image characters.
Yeah. Well, and it doesn't have to be Image projects either, though, because the Power Pack or whatever, or the Paybacks or whatever that Cates brought in, that was a Dark Horse property. Pretty sure, at least. So it sounds like just like not the big two, they can probably negotiate some rights to bring them in. But again, I don't know what Chip's done other than a lot of Spider-Man stuff for Marvel, and now the Red Hood and Stillwater. So that's all I really know for the most part of his work. So I don't know what else he's going to bring in, but like you said, that could also open that window and that door to do some more like Image crossover stuff and like actually have crossover stuff from Image there, you know?
That would be nice if they kind of live up to the name of the book a little more, other than just, the heroes are crossing into the real world. I mean, just in the sense that that's what they kind of teased with it, you know? Like, especially with showing Spawn's hand, his chain, Savage, like they're actually teasing heroes crossing over like different properties. They've done a lot of teasing of that.
Yeah, well, and I also wonder, like, I mean, it seems to me like holding Spawn for a little bit would actually be better because right now Spawn like exists, you know, but come June, then we have the Spawn universe launching. And so that's going to open him up to like crossing over because now there's going to be like a multiverse of Spawn, right? So it seems like that would make it a little bit easier to explain Cross to get over.
They're just calling it Spawn's universe, and just giving some of all these characters that exist, in the Spawn lore,
Mm,
there'll be 4 ongoing titles, one of those being a team title. Like,
yeah.
this is what my view right now looks like. She's so sleepy. She skipped those naps, man. She just took a full nap, woke up long enough just to come over here and pass right back out. She's tougher.
Yep. That's how
Tougher
they are,
dog.
man.
Mm-hmm. She's got these weird like side mullets going on where she has her baby hair just growing out funny.
Hmm. Yeah, my daughter, maybe like a year ago, year and a half ago, she got some scissors and cut all of this, like almost to the scalp, like right here down the
Oh,
sides. And so we had to like pull her hair, and now it's like grown to a point where it's at this awkward phase where like if you pull her hair back into a ponytail, well, like all of this is still too short to actually hold on to anything, so it falls down, and she looks like she has some kind of like goofy mullet haircut thing going on.
nice.
She cut her
Well,
bangs
man,
like from basically like her ear, like she cut all the way around here and then just like barely any on this side, so it looked like her whole head and like just the
that
top
turned
had
slightly.
shifted around. Yeah, it was so weird.
That's
And I kept
awesome.
looking at her that day. I was like, man, something is
Something's
different. What
off.
is going on? My wife comes home that evening and she's like, what the hell did you do to her hair? And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't even know what's going on right now. And she starts like pulling her
It's funny
hair
how
back. I was like,
she noticed
I knew
immediately, huh?
something was different, but I couldn't figure out what it was. And then we go in the bedroom and there's like scissors hidden under the table and little locks of hair everywhere. And I was like, oh my God. Always like, how did you not notice? Ah! Like,
I failed this city.
no.
That's hilarious. There's another one of these Marvels books by Alex Ross. They did the Marvel snapshots where they just kind of had a spotlighted character and then they ignored him. And then they did Marvel X 6-issue prequel to uh, Earth X, which was absolutely fantastic. They did Marvel, which is just like this anthology book with different writers and artists doing characters, and Alex Ross himself having art that kind of weaves them together with the character Dream. And now they're doing this The Marvels #1. So I don't have a clue what it's going to be about, but they've been just kind of, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with those these days.
Really?
Like new
This is
Harley
the first time.
Quinn.
This is the first time I've even heard about this. The Marvels.
Yeah,
Todd
it
said
comes
it's
out
his most
tomorrow.
excited book or anticipated book.
Who told
That's
us that?
interesting. Todd Christian.
I don't. I gotta go check it out. Todd, what is this one going to be about? Because I was getting all of these because I'm a big fan of Marvels from the '90s that Alex Ross did and everything. And then I picked up Marvel X because I love Earth X. It's a fantastic story. But anytime you're going to spotlight Machine Man like that, I am in. And then I picked up the Marvel snapshots because the beautiful Ross covers. And I got about 6 in, and all of them were trash except for like the Submariner one. And yeah, I just didn't really care for them. They were just, it was weird, like what the kind of the direction they were taking with it. Now, I did like the Spider-Man one just because it had God, who did I just keep wanting to say Chris Chenoweth, but that's definitely not. Howard Chaykin did the art on the inside, and I enjoy Howard Chaykin artwork. He's pretty cool. Yeah, I enjoy that as well. Like it was amazing. So, what is this? The Marvels that's going to be coming out? Someone can give me some context. Are you looking it up, Ryan?
Oh no,
Hmm, great. I'll look
The
it up.
Marvels. I mean, I will look it up, but sorry, I was
Oh, it's
replying to
fine.
my
I
wife's
just thought that
message.
she had this weird feeling to check on her kids' haircuts.
Right.
All right, the
Yeah.
Marvel
Well, no, I just
Jesus.
looked down at my phone and it had a bunch of those like red marks, like all my messages and stuff didn't send for some reason. So I don't know what happened there. All new ongoing series. Kurt Busiek is back with the biggest, wildest, most sprawling series ever to hit the Marvel Universe, telling stories that span decades and range from Cosmic adventure and intense human drama from the street level to the cosmic, starring literally anyone from Marvel's very first heroes to the superstars of tomorrow. Good Lord, that's a run-on sentence. This first issue includes an
Stop
invasion
using
from
commas.
orbit. Right? And I'm guilty of it too. Like, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong,
that
but
was
good
a
Lord.
that
That
was
was
a
like a
joke
whole
back to your
paragraph was just one
conversation.
sentence. Yeah. Marvel, wait. Because it was just saying this issue. This first issue includes an invasion from orbit, a picnic in Prospect Park, superhero sightseeing, the All Winter Squad in 1947, Reed
Nice.
Richards during his time in military intelligence, cosmic beings beyond space and time, and that's only for starters.
I feel
Featuring
like that's a
Captain
little bit
America,
too much for
Spider-Man,
the
the
first issue.
Punisher, the Human Torch, Storm, the Black Cat, the Golden Age Vision, Arrow, Iron Man, and Thor, and introducing 2 brand new characters, all beautifully drawn by Yildiray Cinar, in the opening act of a thriller that'll take us across the Marvel Universe and beyond.
So you know the
Plus,
Golden Age Vision was like a World War II era Vision that ran with like the invaders and stuff. But you know, the very first Marvel superhero was the Human Torch, not Johnny Storm, not Toro, but the android Human Torch that was showcased in
mhm.
Captain America. So that's actually the Vision. That's where the Vision's body came from originally in the comics, was from android Human Torch. That's pretty cool. They got the Golden Age Torch in there. Hey, what are you doing? Going back to sleep? Okay. Mm. They don't stay
Yeah.
cuddly like this for long. Goes too fast.
Well, it specifically said there's 2 new characters, so all you spec collectors, buy 25
Yeah,
copies.
get them while they're hot. Now, I was like, I started thinking about maybe I should get this, but it seems like it's just going to be for my taste too much in one issue. So I'm dealing with that right now with Batman Urban Legends and Superman Red and Blue, where if you know, with a book like that, if you're going to bounce around and give us that many stories, the majority of them have to be good, or I'm not getting my money's worth anymore.
Yeah, and that's weird because in that one it said this first issue includes like all that stuff I listed, but
And
Todd
more.
says that each issue focuses on a different character, so I'm not sure
Yeah.
exactly.
So it's just going to bounce around over just highlighting the Marvel Universe. That's cool. That's definitely something cool. I don't think that necessarily anything that I would be trying to pick up right now myself.
Yeah, yeah, sounds like a lot.
Wait, now that Louie's back, Louie, if your wife is here watching, this one's for her, brother. Boom. That's my view. There you go, Louie. Little cutie. I don't know why, but I just had like a James T. Kirk voice go through my head from Star Trek: Wrath of Khan. Khan.
I was thinking speculators mount up.
Now, look.
All right, man. Are you ready to get out of here?
Let's roll.
We got a couple things.
Anything you want to announce? Oh, tomorrow is the
Um,
700 subscriber giveaway entry video. I gotta record that sometime today.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on Lamer Frame this evening. That's 7 o'clock in the real world. I guess that's what 8 o'clock for all you weirdos.
Something like that.
So yeah, Lamer Frame on Rod the Rican's channel, and then other than that, a lot of stuff. There'll be a video Thursday for my new comics for next week. I just dropped an interview today, in fact, with Jordan Thomas, who did Frank at Home on the Farm. Great series. The last issue of that comes out tomorrow, so pick that up and watch the interview that I dropped today, so you can learn more about the creator.
Nice. I've got it's a lot of random content coming out in between the cracks, but got the 700 subscriber entry video that I'll post in the morning. It'll be up at 7 a.m. So you'll see what prizes you can win and how to enter to win them. Got the new comic book day video every Saturday. Live morning show will not be happening this Friday morning because I'll be at the zoo for my wife's birthday. So I'll probably have a short, make it a cheat day. And yeah, every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern at Week's End. Spoiler filled look back at this week in comics and more. Falcon and Winter Soldier wrapped up. Mortal Kombat's over with. It's going to be a while till Space Jam gets here, which I'm definitely looking forward to. But it'll just be pretty much Invincible and new comic book day stuff. And if any crazy news drops between now and then, yeah. But I've still got this Kirby Care package I haven't opened up. I've got tons of exclusives on the way. I've got an exclusive, not an exclusive, but a very, I got a high ratio variant coming in. A 1 in 100 should be here any day this week. That I'm very excited to get in. Got a slab coming in. I have 19 books from CGC that are supposed to show up sometime today. Probably won't share those though. It's all Power Ranger books. Spoiler, all of them are 9.8s, but they're just all new books, nothing magical, just variants and stuff. But yeah, so yeah, hit the notification bell, keep track. So for the awkward goodbye of the day, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.